What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and we finally have the news for the next part of the 9.5th Annie Sugo Fest, and it's going to be this, Legend KOBY. So KOBY, he actually has never had a Sugo Fest exclusive release in the game yet, and this is his first version, and while the unit itself is actually not too bad, I think that this is a pretty poor choice to be the official 9.5th anniversary Sugo Fest. For those of you who don't know, the 9.5 anniversary officially is like the 11th/12th of November, depending on where you are in the world. And this is the Sugo Fest for that. And it's literally one legend release, and it's going to be this KOBY, and it looks like he is going to be an anniversary exclusive character as well. So I think overall, I don't think it's a good choice. I think they may have designed this celebration pretty poorly, but let's actually get into talking about what the character is all about. So, despite the fact that the rest of the Straw Hats are alongside him in his artwork, as well as Helmeppo, this character is considered only KOBY. We'll go over here to his information on the official Twitter account, of course. So, KOBY himself is a strength fighter cerebral, which I don't think is that confusing, or like that's pretty much what we expect for KOBY, and he is a super type character, not an EX or anything like that, but he is a super tandem unit, which is kind of annoying because anniversary exclusives are very, very difficult to max out to get dupes for, and for him to have a super tandem, you would hope it would be a good one, and in my opinion, I actually don't think it's that good, but we'll get to that once we get to it. But let's have a look at his captain ability first. So, Captain ability, the hero of the Rocky Port incident, reduces cooldown for the entire crew by 1, and then he also gives the crew 1.2 HP, 1.3 recovery, which I always talk about. When a character as a captain gives 1.3 recovery, do not disregard that. That will give you a lot of additional healing that a lot of people take for granted, really. He also gives 5.25 times attack, and then 5.5 times attack if you have Recovery, Tandem, Wano, or a Rainbow slot. I like that they've added this because there are some KOBY characters that synergize with some of the waifu batches that actually utilize Rainbow slots. So this is actually kind of cool. Recovery, Tandem, Wano, or Rainbow, so a lot of the characters that have released in this celebration or have released, in Film Red celebrations in general will revolve around these types of slots, so I think this kind of makes sense. He also makes Recovery Tandem slots matching, and then boosts the chances of landing Tandem slots, and if he became character during the quest, then you get 50% damage reduction, which is actually pretty insane. However, with the way that this character actually works, this component might actually be really, really good, but we have to wait and see how this technically works, as we'll talk about it in just a little bit. But just bringing some attention to his captain ability, it doesn't do a whole lot, but one thing that I do like about it is that it's actually fully rainbow. Like, it boosts all characters' attack. It's not a specific color or a specific class. It's just all characters get the attack boost, and all characters get HP and recovery boost. So this means that this character does have a lot of potential moving forward to be used in lots of different teams. So that is really, really interesting, because when you see a character have an effect that says if they become a captain during the quest, it means they're going to have some type of ability to become the captain. Usually that's what it means. So let's move on to the special. Now the special, while it does seem long, it's actually pretty simplistic. So the special ability, first of all, -1 cooldown to the crew, which is pretty fair, I guess. He also gives -7 turns to enemies' damage threshold, which is really cool. Nice utility there. He changes all slots, including block, into tandem, and then remember, if he ends up becoming the captain, he makes them beneficial. And then if the crew has used 0 to 3 specials, then you get a 2.25 color affinity for all characters, mind you, for 1 turn. If you have used 4 to 7 specials in the quest when you launch his special, you get a 2.5 color affinity boost, and then tandem slots become 2.25 times multiplier. So obviously it gets progressively better the more specials you have used before launching KOBY. And then, furthermore, if you've used 8 or more specials when you've launched KOBY special, you get 2.75 rainbow color affinity, and you change the attack multiplier of tandem slots to a 2.75 times. This is incredibly, incredibly strong. Using 8 specials, I would say, is actually kind of relatively difficult to do. However, in the Film Red batch, using 8 specials is very easy because they all have cooldown reductions and special reversing type of effects to consistently launch their specials. So being able to launch 8 specials, while is pretty difficult for most teams, if you're using the Film Red related characters, this makes sense. And getting a 2.75 rainbow affinity and a 2.75 tandem slot multiplier is crazy, crazy good. But then at the bottom here, it says that if the captain is a fighter or a cerebral class when you launch the special, you can choose to swap selected character to captain for 1 turn. Now, this is actually really, really cool because there has been some footage that has been officially revealed here on the Japanese side of things, and when you actually launch the special ability of KOBY, you can actually select the character that you want to change into the captain's spot. And now, because I'm recording the video, the clip isn't actually going to play. Of course, that's exactly what happens, but trust me when I say that according to the footage, when you launch the special, you can actually select which character you want to become the captain. So even if KOBY is a sub, as long as you have a fighter or cerebral captain, you can select any of your subs to become the captain for 1 turn. So this is really unique. However, one thing about it that I don't like is that it only lasts for 1 turn, so you can't use it to bypass enemy preemptive attacks. Like if you enter a stage and the enemy captain swaps you, you can't use this to get around that, which is unfortunate. But being able to select which captain you want to have from your crewmates is very, very unique. So I do like that about him, just providing you a unique ability here. But I think more often than not, you're probably going to see the secondary effect of a 2.5 rainbow color affinity with a 2.25 tandem slot multiplier. I feel like most times that's what you're going to see. However, if you really want to go out of your way to do it, being able to achieve this max capacity of his special is actually very, very strong. So I don't have too many issues with that. I think that it's a good special. I think the captain ability is a little underwhelming though, honestly speaking. I wish it did something else because this is just pretty boring in my opinion. But the 50% damage reduction could definitely come into play. Let's look at some of the other abilities here. Crewmate Ability here does give -5 special reverse to himself, which is kind of cool. Unfortunately, he doesn't have fear resistance, so he can't block that out, which is a bit of a shame. And considering he resists 5 turns of special reverse, yet his special only gives you -1 cooldown, I think that's a little bit of a shame. I feel like, you know, depending on how many specials you've launched, the cooldown reduction should have also increased. Going from like -1 turn, -2 turns to -3, that would have been a wicked change, but unfortunately doesn't do that. And also makes recovery tandem beneficial as a sub, so when you launch his special and to make him a captain, or if he's a crewmate, no matter what, when you launch the special, you're going to have a full board of matching slots, which is very, very good. Furthermore, his support effect is actually pretty good too. It only attaches to strength fighters, so a bit restrictive in terms of what you can attach to. But the support is very good because when you launch the special of the supported character, reduces threshold by 1 and a 1.75 color affinity to all characters. So being able to have another very strong color affinity support here that can get around enemy gimmicks and enemy interrupts, but also being able to have a threshold remover is also just very good. It does only attach to strength fighters, but obviously the new Monkey D. Luffy that came out previously, you can attach it to that. But this is just a good support all around. Like, this is one of my favorite components of this character altogether. Very, very good. Now, furthermore, he does have Super Tandem, and I feel like the Super Tandem is very underwhelming, and I don't know what it is about some of these anniversary exclusives, but they just have really bad potential abilities. I mean, specifically with Super Tandem, those are the ones that are having like the worst times, I feel, in these anniversary exclusives, because the final taps that they make are actually pretty good, but the Super Tandems are not great. So it does require 2 of the listed characters, and the list of characters you have access to is actually very good. Remember, KOBY boosts everyone. He's not type or class focused, so that's not a big issue. You can have whatever you want, but the effect is just ugh. So it gives 1500 base attack boost for any user of Final Tap Sugo special. And it says that it does stack with effects from special. So, like a 1500 attack bonus to characters with Final Tap, I don't think that's, like, it's fine. And then it also further boosts your chain multiplier by 1.5 times, so it's a chain multiplicative buff. For a level 5, like, you need a lot of investments to get a character to level 5 Super Tandem, especially because it's an anniversary legend. This, in my opinion, just ain't it, Chief. This is just not that good. But there is another component we need to have a look at, and that is his super type. Now, I couldn't believe when I read the activation requirement here. When any 2 characters are, other than himself, by the way, other than himself, you need 2 characters on your crew with Final Tap, Super Tandem, or Rush Sugo special. Like, that is actually insane. So you need to build your team in a pretty weird way. But the super type special allows you to remove captain swaps, which makes sense because he has the ability to give captain swapping. You have the ability to now remove it. He also gives -1 cooldown with his super type, which is also very good, and allows you to heal 25% of your crew's maximum HP. Doesn't go through overhealing or anything like that, which I think is, you know, that would have been nice if it was overhealing. And then also gives you a 1250 base attack boost for 1 turn. So this character by himself as a captain can give base attack. He can give the full board of slots, removing enemy threshold, huge color affinity boost. He's just alright in my opinion. He has some unique stuff. I like what he does. But at the end of the day, especially just coming off of the Shanks and the Luffy, I know some people would have already done a lot of pulls like myself to try and get those units. And then you have this on top of it. Man, personally, I can't see myself doing a lot of pulls to get this guy, despite him being an anniversary exclusive, and he would be very, very nice to own, just because of the unique gimmicks that he can give to your crew. Personally, I'm not like super hell-bent on going crazy to get this guy. Plus, look, we are very, very close to the New Year's celebration, which of course is going to be, you know, just after the Christmas period, right at the end of the year. And, you know, it's basically a month and a half away. I think it's probably a wise decision to wait for that, you know what I mean? But overall, he's got some unique stuff. He seems pretty cool. We need to talk about, though, his PvP stuff, because that's always going to be important to have a look at. So he's a supporter style unit in Rumble. Special ability is a 30 CT cooldown. He targets your strength teammates for a 30% CT reduction. That's actually pretty good. And then he targets your team for a 50% chance of haste. That's kind of whatever. Like 50% chance to be hasted is kind of lame. He also gives level 5 attack up for 30 seconds. I think that's also really good. And then he targets one enemy with high current HP for a 2.5 damage 2 times. I think that's respectable. Remember, he's a supporter style unit. He's not, his whole goal is not to give damage to the enemy. He's mainly a supporter for the rest of your crew. And then if his HP is 50% or below, he targets your strength teammates for a level 4 shield. That is an incredible ability. He gives CT reduction, attack buffs. He can also shield your teammates. I think that it's actually pretty solid. Let's have a look at the Rumble ability though. Your strength teammates, attack 6, speed 6, HP 6, all very good. Fighter class teammates, critical level 6, that's kind of whatever. And then if Zoro, Sanji, Helmeppo, Usopp, Nami, Robin are on the crew, your fighter characters get level 3 special CT increase. That's actually pretty good. I like that. However, it means you need to have a character that is a strength fighter that is one of these units that is good in PvP. And I can tell you, I don't think there's many of them that would actually fall into that category. There is actually the Pirate Rumble rare recruit Sanji, who I believe is a strength fighter. And he also does do special CT, so I think that's probably what you'd go with. You'd go with KOBY, that Rumble rare recruit Sanji, who is a strength unit, and then probably the new Monkey D. Luffy. That would build you a pretty good core to start with, at least offensively. I think defensively you do still need something else to help you out, but that's interesting. It's an interesting core to start with. So Rumble, I think he has potential. I don't know if he's going to be good in Rumble, but as I said, he has potential. He does have Grand Party stuff, surprisingly. So when you use, or when the enemy uses 5 Rumble specials, very easy to activate. He targets your team for half stat reduction for 50 seconds. That's completely overkill. Most of the time you don't need to remove 50 seconds of half stats. 30 seconds would have been suffice. 50 seconds is definitely overkill. And then he targets your teammates with 50% or below HP for a 50% CT reduction. And then he also targets your team for a 100% chance of haste. So yeah, you could use this tactically, where if you have teammates that have low HP and they've got like around 50%, 50 to 60% CT, launch this, they get max special and go to the top of the order so they can launch their specials potentially right before they die. I think this has potential, I guess, but in a meta where we are right now with Gear 5 Luffy running around, this doesn't really make a lot of sense. And then you have the GP ability giving buffs to strength, giving them CT at level 3, and defense is nice, and attack. And then fighters also get HP, speed, and crit up. So for strength fighter teams, man, he's going to be an absolute beast for those types of characters, but I mean, realistically, this is not going to be a GP leader you see very often, but I think he has potential to be used in Rumble. It seems interesting. But yeah, according to the clip here, this is the new batch that's coming along here. We've got a new KOBY character. We've got the Jellyfish Pirates. And then we have the Bluno, Beppo, and Sunny-kun. So this was actually posted here as well, that the PKA character of Bluno, Beppo, and Sunny-kun are going to be super evolving. And that is the treasure map character of this month. So it looks like from this point moving forward, we're not actually going to be receiving free-to-play treasure map characters anymore. and I have made plenty of tweets about it since this news has gone live. So if you want to see my thoughts and opinions about it, definitely go check out the Twitter or my X, which is always linked at the bottom of every video. But yeah, I overwhelmingly negative opinions on this one. I think it's just lazy because we just get one less free-to-play character at the end of every month. We always used to get a Kizuna character every month. They chopped that out, and we basically rarely get Kizuna characters anymore. And now they're doing it for treasure map characters too, which treasure map characters, you know, historically have been, you know, hit or miss, but there's definitely been some really good treasure map characters that have released, and the fact that they're kind of stopping that, I'm pretty pissed off about it, honestly. I'm not a big fan of that overall, but yeah, they're going to be one of the other characters here, and then there's also, I don't even remember the names of these characters, just the NPCs from One Piece Film Red, and then a new Trafalgar Law, who is unfortunately not a Sugofest exclusive. I think more people would have been excited for a lore legend from Film Red, but he's just going to be a rare recruit, it looks like. He does have Final Tap, he does have Super Class, but he's just going to be a generic rare recruit from all accounts. It doesn't look like he's going to be a Sugofest exclusive, but that's it. That's the breakdown of KOBY and what we know so far. But let me know your thoughts and opinions about the new legend KOBY down below in the comment section. I just think it's not an exciting character to have for an anniversary celebration, but I think that the abilities that he has are super unique, that it kind of helps carry the celebration in some capacity. He's got some good abilities. Would love to have this character, but I just don't think that people are really that excited for this unit at all. But let me know your thoughts and opinions about it, as I said, down below in the comment section. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you guys did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Other than that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.